What's up, guys? So, first of all, because I can't help but think about it, I just like to point out that I have a zit on my right eye, okay? Or my left eye. Sorry. Anyways, zit, but it's okay, because I guess it's just part of life, even when you're 28 years old, apparently. Anyways, we're going to talk about a guy named Zacchaeus in Luke 19, and this is a guy that was a rich guy. He was a tax collector, and that meant that he was very, very likely dishonest. We actually know he was dishonest by a statement he makes later on in this verse, the scripture. But there's a lot of times with the tax collectors in the Bible, they would cheat people of their money. They would charge more than they were supposed to, and then pocket it, and then they would get paid by the government. And so a lot of people didn't like tax collectors. But he was a very wealthy man because of his profession, and that automatically, obviously, you were going to assume that opened his life up to a certain lifestyle, from partying to people and all of the things that go with money. And so you've got this guy that doesn't really like all the decisions he's made in life. Maybe looks back at some and says, I wish I would have rethought that one before I made it. And is maybe at a place in life where he's a little bit frustrated with his life choices, maybe feeling a little guilty, maybe ashamed, and looking for some answers, looking for some hope, ultimately looking for some peace. I think we could all relate to making some decisions that at the end of the day we want some peace, and we want to figure out how to not feel that shame anymore. And so he hears about this guy named Jesus, and he goes to try to find him. He hears that he's coming to town. He's passing through Jericho, and I'm going to go see what this guy's all about. And so Zacchaeus goes, but it says Zacchaeus was a short guy. We don't know how short he was, but he wasn't very tall, and the mass crowds didn't allow him to be able to get a view of Jesus. So he climbs up in this tree, which for a rich man is quite a sign of humility in and of itself, because he probably paid people to do things for him. And he's so relentless about seeing Jesus that he just climbs up into this tree. And when Jesus walks by, he looks at him and he says, Zacchaeus, come down, we're going to your house. And he's like, okay. And Jesus tells Zacchaeus we're going to his house. And they go and they have dinner. And there's a couple of things that really stick out to me. Is you've got this guy, this Zacchaeus guy, that there's something inside of him drawing him to Jesus. There's something inside of him drawing him to Christ. Because I believe that he looks at the culmination of his life choices in this moment and realizes every one of them have left me empty. Every one of them have left me hurting. I'm not who I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. And I'm not doing the things that I want to do. Even though I've got tons of money, I'm still missing something. You see, the cool part about it, though, is he acted on that. He acted on that faith. He acted on what that was inside. See, too many times we sit there and we want God to just show up. God's saying, listen, I'm passing through, but I need you to show up. I need you to climb the tree. I need your faith to translate into action so that we can have a interaction with each other, so that you can have a collision with the miraculous, a collision with the holy. I need you to move. I need you to get up. I need you to go. Zacchaeus climbs the tree, and God responds to Zacchaeus' faith that translated to action. See, I don't know what it is that you're needing today. Maybe you're sitting there like Zacchaeus and processing in a culmination of life choices that you don't like. Maybe you're sitting there asking for God to do something, waiting for God to do the miraculous. Maybe you need a job. Maybe you need to get into a college. Maybe, I don't know what yours is. But I know that God will respond to your action, because your action proves faith. And when we have faith, God always moves on our behalf. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. So allow your faith to translate into action. Climb a tree, get out of a cave, get up, move, do something that allows God to come by and say, okay, let's go and do this together.